Oh, I got to put this down just a little bit. I think we're good right there. All right, so let me play my jingle. You're gonna love this.
Yeah, I remember.
You like that, huh?
Yeah. The ukulele?
Yeah, Sir Chad, a guy made this for me. Here it comes. Howdy and aloha. Welcome to Mana Talk. The earth and you are ohana. We hope you stay and talk. That is so gay. But it's fucking clever. I think it's kind of cute, right? Anyway, howdy and aloha, everybody. This is James with Mana Talk. I have this show. It's made for people to come on from all over the state, the country, and we have people that come in here from all over the world, actually. We could have anywhere from 5, 10, 15 to up to 20 people on this show at once, all talking roundtable about politics, about events, about current events, about issues that are affecting our country and our nation and the world. My goal here for me, James with Monotalk, is my core, which is trying to save the planet. I know it's a broad stroke and all of its inhabitants, but we've got to do whatever we can to fix a lot of things. And it has to do with our leaders. And speaking of leaders, sometimes we have some awesome guests that I have. And by the way, I am a Green Party person. I'm a standing General Assembly member for the Green Party. And tonight we have Miguel Zuniga. Yeah, Zuniga. Zuniga from going for Congress, District 43, correct?
Correct.
California District 43. Awesome. Well, welcome. How's it going? What's going on, bro? How are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I know it's been a week and a half or two in the making, but we finally accomplished the goal, man. I'm happy there. Busy, man. Had my son's little birthday party yesterday, the nice. Batman theme. I played myself as the Joker. I don't know if you saw the post.
Yeah, but very nice.
It was fun.
Hey, so you're a family guy. Tell us a little bit about you and your history and, what's going on.
Sure. I was born in Harbor City General Hospital, right here in Harbor City, which is a city away from me now in Lomita. Mm-hmm. And I lived in Lawndale for the first 30 years of my life. And then I went to Hawthorne High School, and I've been working a couple of jobs, but my last job is the Hawthorne Costco for the last 23 years in June. So shows loyalty there. And I've been married for 13 years now this March. And I have 2 beautiful kids. I have a Lebanese wife, so I'm half Cuban, half Mexican. So it just shows a multicultural. We're trying to make this world
that's awesome.
A little smaller. We're trying to teach the kids 3 languages, I think it's kind of insulting when people want to say English only.
I know. That's so ignorant. It's so naive and ignorant, right?
Especially when it's one of the last languages created, behind Pig Latin or something. Who knows?
Right. Oh, that's what I know, Pig Latin. In Hawaii, brother.
No, but yeah, so the point I was trying to make with all these cities that I was mentioning, and every single city I just mentioned is in my district, District 43. So my whole life, my 43 years of existence, this March 7th was my birthday too. So coincidentally, I have 1 year of experience for every number in the district because that's how long I've been in the district. And there's a lot of beautiful things that go on in this district. For one is the mixed variety of races that we have here.
Perfect.
Real dominant race in the district, and it's a good mix of middle class to poor. So it's a good blend in here. And I'm just trying to keep, I'm trying to bring everybody together. I'm trying to bring everybody to the table. I enjoy debating. Republicans are always welcome to my table, and we can have a cordial debate, and they walk away impressed. Whether they agree with 5% of me or not, they walk away impressed because at least, we didn't get in a fist fight. So,
but you're down if you have to. You're down.
Yeah, oh man, I'll defend myself, and this is how I feel about our military. I don't think our military should be used for anything else but defending us. Yeah. If we ever get attacked, if we ever that's the one time I think supporting our troops isn't sending them to go conquer for oil. I think supporting our troops is keeping them here to defend us, keeping them safe with their families. Don't send them in deserts. So, well, I don't know if you know the numbers, but in Iraq, the majority of the kills were friendly fire. Were you aware of
Wow.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So nobody talks about that.
No.
But that should be a statistic, that should also go down with the 22 average suicides a day. That's also friendly fire.
Right.
That's one of our own taking one of our own, whether it's himself or not. And it's a statistic they don't like to talk about because it doesn't look good for them when they're trying to recruit, when they're trying to do the damage that they're doing. So that I think by keeping them at home is the best way we can keep them safe. So that's why I support my troops. The
So
mandate
you're the real quick. So you're very you have some good life experience, for sure, which I think is important. And you're how old you? You don't have to say the exact age. I mean, what is your age?
What is it?
Your age. How old are you?
43.
See, life experience, right in the moment. Been paying taxes, doing what he has to do, and now he sees that there's a need to fix it all. So how long have you been? How long has this been your passion to run for office?
Well, the funny thing is, I've never wanted to run for office. A politician to me is the last thing I want to be or become. And even if I do get into office, please don't ever refer to me as one. Because I'm not going in there to be a politician. Because we all seen what politicians have done and are continuing to do.
Ooh, good
so
point.
I'm going in. I'm going in as a person, and I kind of label myself as an evolutionary revolutionary.
Okay.
And I'm going in there with the mentality that I'm going to be making more money than I ever had as a congressman. So why should I be greedy and selfish and ask for more and get all these donors and all that?
Right.
No. I want to just make sure my family and me are safe, and I want to be able to put myself in a situation where once I know my family and everybody's taken care of, I can start working and being able to take care of everybody else's family too, in gratitude for putting me in this situation. And I didn't start wanting to run until I went to Philadelphia, really, and I started realizing that I was a lifetime Democrat, and it was just something I wore on my sleeve. And oh, look at me, I'm a lifetime Democrat. I was never really proud of it. To me, it was just a lesser of two evils, right?
Right.
And I always wondered why no other party got an opportunity. How come they never allowed anybody to debate? And I mean, since high school, I've been throwing these kind of comments out there. So I've been pretty political for a while. And I even came up with a clothing line called FTG Worldwide, which stood for Fix the Government Worldwide.
Nice.
And not just here, but worldwide. Because there's a lot of governments that needed to be fixed. So imagine the material. I would never run out of material. And I had shirts that said, fact, Democrats suck, Republicans swallow. So my mentality for the two-party
Did you say that again? Can you say that again?
It says, fact, Democrats suck and Republicans swallow, right? And I had an image of Uncle Sam, and he was like this.
You fucking got my vote now. That's it. Done.
You got to move to my district, quick. but I had an image of Uncle Sam, and he was super focused like this, right? And I had one of those old school bombs with the little Mitch on the other side of it.
Right.
But the Mitch was lit.
Oh.
It's a powerful image.
Yeah, it is.
The message was humorous, but I did say fact because I highly believe it. Because even when I was in high school, when they taught us about electoral voting, I was like, what the hell is this? And I thought electoral voting was the problem. But I ended up realizing once I ran as a delegate for Bernie that the problem starts way beyond. I mean, there is delegates running for Bernie seats that were Hillary supporters. And we were able to pinpoint them out. I mean, we had secret groups that we had to start secret groups for and leave some of the people in that secret group in, just so they wouldn't know that we already vetted them out. And we continue. So they were probably wondering why nobody was posting on that group anymore.
Right.
And also, and then we had to vet somebody else from that group. And then, so we had to reconstruct. I'm in over 100 secret groups on Facebook.
Wow.
But the problem is they're not secret. I call Facebook Tracebook. They blocked our live streams when we walked out in Philly. There's been a lot of times where my Facebook acts funny when I try to post something, or people share my post without my comment popping up for some reason. And I never block my comments from popping up unless they want to share them without a comment, which is weird.
That's fucking awesome. So, hey, I just want to say this is awesome to have you on. You got tons of energy. It looks like you're really excited about running. The question that I always get that seems to stump with some of the people that come on here is, do you believe you can win this?
Well, when I first started to run, that was mainly in everybody else. People were telling me not to run. People say, "Hey, it's political suicide," and they're talking to me like I'm trying to be a career politician. And again, I'm not trying to be a politician.
Right.
So my first intention was, Maxine's never been challenged. So let's push her left. Let's get a real lefty on there to bring up the topics, just like Bernie did. Nobody thought Bernie could win. He was at
Yeah.
3%, and then he's filling up stadiums like nobody before. I bet you one of his stadiums filled up more people than all of the rallies that Hillary did combined.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, because it was so obvious. The rigging was so obvious. My registration was switched both times I bought in. My vote for Jill Stein never got counted. So we're not playing no more. To me, this is serious because I have uncles that jumped out of planes in Nam as a paratrooper, and he could have been dead right now, like his buddy who he saw floating down dead in his parachute.
Jeez.
And this is the kind of stories I had to hear. And then my buddy Colin Tenier, he's right now the president of the Veteran Caucus of the Democrats. He's one of the reformers in there.
Mm-hmm.
Great. He's seen people blowing up in Iraq. And these are my good friends. These are my brothers. He may be a Democrat, but he's my brother.
Right.
So like to me, blood goes thicker than any party line. And my country comes before any party line, and my planet means everything before any country. So this is how we should all be thinking, because then that's the best party to be aligned with. The party that it doesn't put the party first is the party that we should be aligned with. We don't take corporate funding. We're all about the planet. We're all about, immigration rights. We're all about equality. We're all about the LGBTQ, BLM. We support all these things. We're the most, reaching out. We're the most wanting to do something. We're the most open, most wide horizon out there out of all the parties out there. We're the ones that are looking at MMT. We're looking at universal basic income. We're looking at things that the other parties do not want to talk about because they help us and take away from the profit.
Mm.
That's where we're coming from, and as a person with a heart, that's why my slogan is, let's put a heart in the machine, because only a machine can drive by all these homeless people. Well, you'd have to live in our district to represent it, to see this, but you haven't lived in our district long enough to realize that when I started this whole Bernie thing, I used to go to Bernie's Diner in LA, and I used to drive down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Starting from Vernon on, you would see the homeless encampments over the freeway ramps, every other freeway ramp, like 2 or 3 of them. Then it became 4 or 5. Now, 2 or 3 years later, it's running all the way down to my city here, past my city of San Pedro, and every single freeway ramp has an encampment. And and the sad thing is that most of the people that ignore these people or are mad at these people or disgusted by these people are the people who are responsible for putting them in there, who will roll up their window, will not even put $1 in the cup. That's the person that should be putting the most money in there and being like, I'm sorry, but then you don't even have the audacity.
The person with the Range Rovers that pulls up, right?
Yeah, it doesn't even really matter what car they ride, because some of them will even ride a hoopty because they rather hoard the money.
They put it in the Cayman Islands and South America and Swiss bank accounts, right?
Touching on that, the youth is so afraid right now, and they are so smart. The millennials, I stand with the millennials 100%. I'm like the oldest millennial in the group, and and I love these guys because they're the ones that the parents work really hard to put them in college. They figured out that the system is fracked up. That's my replacement word.
You can cuss, by the way, on here.
Oh no, but I'd rather say fracking because it's a dirty word.
Fracking is a fucking bad word. That's like the worst. That's worse than fuck.
Exactly. Exactly. It holds a stronger value at this point when it comes to the dirt.
Yeah, dirty water.
So I know I'm jumping all over the place here,
That's
man.
Okay.
But
so the millennials are big for you. The millennials are big for you.
The millennials are big for us.
What about college? So about the college, and fuck.
College. Well, El Camino College is in my district, and that's the highest accredited junior college in my district. So I would do a lot of canvassing in there, to collect signatures. And when I tell them, hey, I want to pay for your college, and they would laugh. And I go, look, I'm Green Party. You want free tuition for junior colleges? What if the highest accredited college in the country was free? I just found out you guys are paying $46 per
credit.
For credit, yeah.
Right, per credit. Unit per
Yeah, for
unit.
credit.
Yeah.
Per unit.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I went there, it was $16, and that was expensive because
Yeah.
that's basically me
I'm not
paying.
going to tell you how much it was when I went, but it was a little bit less.
Well, $16, and every
Pretty
class
close.
is 3 to 5 units, So if they're paying $46 a unit, I could have been taking, 12 classes for what they're paying for 3. It's crazy. Just in the 20 years since I started going to college, how they're just violating these kids. So back to the Bitcoin or to the crypto dollar, the kids are realizing that the dollar is just a piece of paper that we've been given this value to. And half the time, how many times do you pay without this dollar?
Right.
Most of the time, you use a debit card, whatever. So the idea was already given to us by them. So now they're realizing if we can give the value to something else more important than the dollar, who cares about it? And we rip it up in their faces and we're laughing, and they haven't stolen in all these islands for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's I think Bitcoin is not the answer, but I think it's opening doors to what could be. And that's the thing. If we can take the value away from the dollar, something here.
Yeah, I've got nephews and nieces that are going to have to pay off some student loans, and it's really horrific. This is now I could understand. Now major colleges. Here's the thing: is so let's just say UCLA, Duke, Ivy League. UCLA is not Ivy Leagues, but the larger colleges. So if they can just get a community college, which I think could be doable, if you could start with community colleges providing tuition free, that would be amazing.
Well, that's the whole plan, though. The free tuition doesn't apply to UCLA or USC. You still have to pay to go there. So if you want to get that special credential, the special credentials to have maybe a insight on the other on the person who just went to junior college, you can. Then you'd have to pay. Then you have to go to the regular, the standard way of going. But the thing with the free junior colleges is that now even the people that can't afford to get an education can't, because not every poor kid is dumb and not every rich kid is smart. Most of the rich kids get the rides to go to these universities and colleges, and and most of them don't even graduate because they're partying. And I'm not saying all of them, but there's a lot of them that do.
Mm-hmm.
And now, if there's a poor kid that had 4.0s all the way through high school and everything, and now he's being denied because he couldn't get a scholarship, he couldn't get whatever it was to get into college, then why should he be penalized? A junior college certificate should be good enough to get you a higher paying job.
Absolutely. So that's big. So millennials will definitely like that. But the biggest thing that I'm seeing that I hear from a lot of the Greens is that they really care about the future for them to be able to vote and for their counts for them to be heard. So you were talking about electoral college. That's bullshit. You know that.
Yes,
And then you were talking about, and I think did you mention ranked choice voting?
No, but I'm totally for it. Ranked
Totally,
choice voting, it
yes.
totally makes sense.
So what would be? I mean, look, getting into Congress is not going to be an easy task, but in your area, let's just say, for example, you were able to. It's Kamala Harris, right?
No. It's Maxine Waters.
Maxine Waters. Sorry, Maxine Waters. Why do I get them confused? I'm sorry.
No, Kamala Senate, right?
Okay, so if you were to get in front of Maxine Waters, and a Republican, you could probably just shred up. But what do you think the big issue with her is right now?
Omar Navarro is the Republican. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Omar who?
Navarro.
I don't know. Sorry. Probably a good thing that I don't.
He's already been hosting. He's been hosting an event at Trump's golf course over here in PV.
Uh-huh.
It started at $125 to $250 for VIP.
What?
And he's raised like $15,000 on CrowdPack, and he's the one trying to unite the right. And get this, I hear he's half Cuban, half Mexican, like myself, and he's trying to unite the outright. And the funny thing is, he's been referred to because on his Facebook, on his live streams or whatever, one of his own followers referred to him as his favorite non-white. So they not only have the audacity to give him credit for his own nationality, but this is what he chooses to represent, which is kind of salty for me because I'm a proud Cuban Mexican American. You know, I'm proud of all three of them. Am I proud of any of those three governments? No, no, I'm not proud of any of those three governments, right? But that's why, yeah, I gotta fix the one where I'm at first, and maybe we can start working on going to the moon or any of the other stuff that that we're wasting a lot of money on before we can even fix what's going on across the street. But yeah, so back to Maxine, and back to if I could beat her. So I went in with the intention to try to push her left as possible, but now I really feel we can beat her because I'm the only candidate in the race that supports single payer healthcare. And Maxine Waters is all about Affordable Care Acts. In her last flyer, she states the Affordable Care Acts that she supports. And we try to push her. Lawrence Steiner and a couple of the Bernie delegates and stuff, they showed up at our office and tried to push her to support HR 676, the single payer bill for the House.
Right.
And she replied within a week that she was going to sign on. So okay, she supports single payer. 3 townhouses went by, not a mention of single payer. At the 3 townhouses, right? Not one mention. And then now she has the flyer where she's talking about Affordable Care Acts, where she's hoping that people forgot about single payer in the backtracking. Then as I drive to work, I see these 2 billboards on the freeway from the nurses union, right? And the nurses unions for healthcare, universal healthcare and everything, but they're preaching to the choir because everybody in my district, or the majority of my district, want it, but they're preaching to a district, to a congresswoman that doesn't. And one of the things that I feel that would be more valuable than them saying, hey, universal healthcare is what we need, is posting my name on that billboard saying that I'm the only candidate in their district that supports it. Because if they really want to get it passed, I'm the key to the door in this district. And and I love my nurses. I did a lot of work with them out in Philly. Like they saved my life at one point when I was dehydrating, waiting for a bus in 108 degrees in my suit because they were trying to give the Hillary delegates first run to the seats, so they can have front row seats to in case the camera was on them. While we're boiling in the sun, handicapped people, we were giving cuts to all of them because we were boiling in the sun. So if it wasn't for a nurse behind me realizing I was almost dehydrated, she just popped out of the press of water. Like, man, the nurses are saving lives constantly, even when they're off the clock. so I would love to get a hold of the nurses to see if I can get their endorsement. But it almost seems like it's quite a bit of work for it, and I don't know if they've been endorsing any Greens, which kind of worries me.
Yeah. So here's the big question. Here's another large question is so when I'm talking to, and I've had some Justice Dems on here, and I ask them, would you open the door wider for third-party candidates to come in? If I see a little hesitation, or if I'm just like, well, right off the bat, they don't fucking care. They don't want it. When I hear somebody go, oh, fuck yeah, we've got to have more parties. Here's a fact I tell everybody. So there's two countries on the planet that have 2 huge majority parties. One is the United States of America, has the Republicans and the Democrats. And the other one is, and I'll go ahead and tell you, they're in the Mediterranean. It's an island about the size of your county. It's called Malta, the island of Malta. That's it. That's a fucking, it's such a joke. So anyway, I've got a question. Somebody, from, if you don't mind, a few questions from the people in the galley. Okay.
Please.
He wanted to ask a question about. Hold on. Ask Miguel about his demonstration at the Rose Parade. What's going on with that?
Oh yeah, Carlos Maracon. You familiar with Carlos? Huge activist. He was also a vet. He's the one that started the Bernie Brigade. He has a thing every year now where it's an unofficial parade that he hosts, and it's always on some kind of topic. 1 year it was Bernie. This last year it was healthcare for all. So I had a little wagon. It used to be my little Bernie wagon, but now I got a green one. It used to be a blue one, but now it's a green one. But I had my son in it, and I decorated it like an ambulance, and I had 562 on it, healthcare for all. It was just like a little ambulance, and my son was in there. But he was kind of tucked in because at first he had fallen asleep, but he kind of woke up, but he's still kind of sleepy. And then as we're, I think it was Arkansas or no, or Oklahoma. Where were the two teams in the bowl?
In the what?
Rose Bowl. The two teams in the Rose Bowl.
Oh God, I should know this, but I don't.
It
Was it Clemson or?
Was it Oklahoma or was it Arkansas?
It was Oklahoma.
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 Well, they seem to have an issue with single payer, and as we're going by, they're the only ones because most of the people from Cali they were cheering. All the people from Washington loved it. We had the big Bernie, so they loved him. But oh man, the few Oklahoma fans are get a job. Who's gonna pay for it? I'm like,
really?
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was Georgia. It was Georgia, and Georgia beat Oklahoma. Ha ha ha. Georgia against Oklahoma. Georgia Bulldogs.
Well, then they went over, and one of the fans came over, and he tried to grab the wagon and rip it apart. And my son's in there, right?
What?
So I stopped because I saw him about to pull back, and I rolled it back. So he kind of lost his balance. He was an older guy, so he lost his equilibrium a little, and he almost fell. And then he let go of it. I'm like, hey, that's my property. You're like, whether you like it or not, that's my property. And get away from my son, you pedophile.
Right?
And then everybody, all the people in the, all our group, they were like, they all know my son, they all know me, they all know my work, my dedication. So, this guy messed with the wrong group, right? So then he starts kind of like, like, hey, he starts putting his elbow in my bicep, like, hey, you're being a little loud. Like, you know what? I'm gonna keep being loud because you know what? We're not being heard, and I'm gonna get louder until we're being heard.
Nice.
And why are you physically assaulting me? Like, what did I do to you? I can't afford healthcare. That's why I'm in this parade right now saying that I want universal healthcare. Maybe you can go around hurting people and you can afford to get hurt because you must have full coverage, which I've never heard of. But why are you over here assaulting me and my son? Get away from me and my son, you pedophile. And this is around the time that the pedophile almost beat the Democrat.
Oh, yeah. Pizzagate shit came out, man. Yeah. That Joe, this is the time when Joe, I think it's Joe Jones beat that one.
Yeah. Well, he barely beat him, by 0.6% or something.
Which is fucking amazing. That's just so sickening. Our country needs a slap, dude, like a big ass slap.
The big blue wave, but all I know is that
let's talk about the big blue wave.
Well, with Obama, they lost 1,000 seats. Since rigging Bernie, they lost over 200 more. And and I'm waiting for the blue. 2018, they're gonna get a lot of credit for a lot of this progressive movement. But if the Greens get in there, I'm sure they're gonna wash it away with this big blue wave. That's why they're getting ready. Honestly, I feel it's gonna be a turquoise wave. Because there's a lot of Democrat progressives that I support, that I highly, that have faith in. That if they were in there, as long as I've seen their dedication, I've seen their work. As long as they continue to do what they're doing now and then, I don't care what party you're in, as long as you're working for the people. And I think the person that works with everybody the best, is willing to work with everybody, is the best candidate.
So do you think everybody's voting for me, or is everybody voting for themselves? In other words, remember when Hillary used to come out and go, I'm with Hillary, and then Bernie is saying, I'm with you? Or Jill used to say, I'm with you, and then Bernie would say, I'm with everybody. I don't know. But what I'm getting to is, are you going to be our boss, or are you going to be, or are we going to be your boss?
You're my boss. You guys are my boss. I've always said it. I'm working for the people. I mean, if the corporations can afford me, that's a big message. Most people can't say no to corporations. They have their price at one point or another. And me barely raising, just under $3,000 is where I'm at.
Right.
That's proof. That's proof that I belong to the people. My lowest donation is $3. I got more than one. And I tell people those are very, very important donations to me, because that's someone that probably couldn't who donates $3.
Right.
Someone probably can't afford it, but they believe in my message so much. They really want to give it forward that they donated the $3 they had. And to me, it's not about the money. It's about me using this money to get the word out, me using this money to be able to promote our message so we can actually win. I have the most unorthodox campaign. I don't know if you've been able to notice, because I'm not running as a politician, so I'm not limiting myself. I'm not the suit. And when this time comes, I wear my suit. Maxine dresses very well, and out of respect, I have to wear my suit. She's a very, very, she carries herself very well. She speaks very well. Uh, I have no issues with her as far as a person. My thing is, she hasn't lived in her district for so long that I just feel there's a huge disconnect at this point. And I want to reunite the district. I don't want to just unite the right. I want to unite the district. I want to unite all of us as a whole. Because as an artist, I see every color. So when people go around saying I don't see any color, because that's their way of introducing themselves as I'm not a racist. Well, I think it's very naive of them, because are you blind? Like, I see every color, and to me, every color is beautiful.
Yeah.
We learn from every color, and there's culture, there's food, and there's like tricks, there's tips, there's tactics, there's messages, and there's so much you can learn. I mean, I'll probably never be able to fully able to write or speak Arabic, but I've been able to tap into it.
Cool.
I took French in high school. I took French in high school because I already knew Spanish. So most of my Spanish, they wanted an easy ride, and then when the teachers found out that they spoke Spanish, it wasn't so easy because they got higher level Spanish. They were having trouble passing their class.
You get them pissed off, and they start saying "cabron," "what's up, pinche puta, cabron," right?
So
you do know how to speak Spanish.
See, and I was acing my French class,
nice.
Because I was trying to, and now 20 years later, I can still count. I can still ask you what time it is in French. I can be like, bonjour, comment allez-vous?
Impressive.
And I mean, I'm not saying I'm a French professional, but if I go to France, I'll probably make some people laugh enough that they'll probably want to help me, right? It's how you reach out to people. My mom raised me. I want people to say like, wow, whoever his mom is did an amazing job. If that's the least you can think of me, then I accomplished a big thing there. My mom did a lot, from coming to Cuba to be here, to be able to provide for me, for all the way from being a single mom to working jobs, to paying for babysitters. I even helped her sell oranges on the corner. In the first, because she would give me my little allowance for helping her at the end of the week, so I would save it. And guess what? The first thing I bought, once I saved enough money for it, was
what?
A radio flyer, so I could put more oranges in it, so I could sell more oranges.
Nice, a fucking wagon, dude. I had one.
Dude, the radio flyer, you had to have one.
You were not cool unless you had a fucking radio flyer, man.
I wish I want a green one now.
Hey, I got a question for you in the gallery, I call it.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from Stevie from Redneck Economics. You guys got to check out her show.
Okay.
Stevie, she's very intuitive. She's from West Virginia, by the way.
Okay.
We got people from all over the country asking you questions.
Nice.
Her question is, if you're familiar with Julian Assange?
Of course.
First question is, do you believe? Oh, okay, definitely. How would you find ways, or how would you free Assange, or would you do anything to help this our true, in my opinion, a true journalist? What would you try to do to help him out, to free him?
Well, we gotta start proposing the bills. We gotta start, we gotta start, opening up the gates and the doors. Like, for instance, recently Maxine voted against protecting the Whistleblower Act.
What?
HR.
Oh, that's bad. She's gone.
Look it up.
That's huge. That's huge, dog.
HR 562. Look this up. First of all, they had a vote to bring it back on the table. She voted no there. Then when they brought it back up again, she voted no again, but it passed because they passed both times. And then the second time, 30 of the people that voted no actually voted yes because they obviously they didn't want to be implied with the ones that voted no at this point because they realized it was going to pass. She still couldn't protect her own staff from writing her out for doing the wrong thing. Because that's how I see it. If you got nothing to hide, why not protect your own staff from keeping your feet in the fire? And that's their classic term that they like to use: keep their feet in the fire, keep their feet in the fire. And and I've said it 100 times already, but I've been kicking them right in the flames because I'm tired of them. Obviously they got fire repellent shoes, so it's time to throw them all the way into these flames so they finally get the picture. And that's how I don't run a smear campaign. These are facts.
Yeah, you're just throwing out the facts. You're not trying to say, hey, she doesn't dress well, or she wears too much makeup, or she wears too much gold around her neck, which she never does. Right? Maxine Waters never wears a lot. If you anyway, okay. So and she's she's like 100. She's got tons of money already. She's made her fucking dough. She needs to go.
Her husband's
Bye-bye.
rich. I heard her husband's rich. The money comes from her husband. He used to be an ex-NFL player or something.
Right.
I know that's what I've been told. That's how some people defend it. That's all fine. And you know what? I don't have anything against with anybody that's doing well. I'm happy for her. She has a $4.8 million mansion. That's great. She has 5 homes. That's awesome. That's great. Now maybe give someone else an opportunity to at least get a home in the district and show a little gratitude to the people that put them there. Because if I buy a home, it's going to be in my district, and this is the way I'm going to thank my district for putting me there. This is the way I'm going to say, hey, you guys made it happen. Thank you. I'm going to stay here with you guys, and I'm going to keep fighting. I want all of you guys to start getting homes. Oh, and if I don't want everybody to start getting homes, are you familiar with my pre-finance home loan bill that I want to pass?
That sounds good. I know I don't. Tell us about it.
All right, my pre-finance, I try to make it short and sweet, but it's kind of hard. But we build out the banks, which to me that was MMT, but they call it a bailout. So we'll go with the bailout, because they bailed out a few times, and thanks to the bailout, our Social Security still exists because they kept trying to say we weren't going to have a Social Security anymore, but no, thank you bailout or MMT. So back to that. Oh man, I got sidetracked.
It's the loan program.
So we bailed out the banks. Don't they owe us? I mean, they did all these predatory loans. It was the only way they can afford these overpriced houses because it's the only way you can get a loan. And it wasn't that it was a bad loan. It's just that nobody explained how the loan works. 3 or 5 years later, you better get another loan because your payment's going to be worse than the cable bill. Mm-hmm. They give you all the free channels at first, and then after 3 months, your bill goes up, and all of a sudden you got a car payment for cable, right? Well, that's how the home loans work. They did the reverse mortgages on everybody because the houses were so expensive. It's the only way they could get in. After a few months, these people couldn't keep up with the payments or whatever. Or, after a few years, the loans were predatory, and they lost their homes. So a lot of the homeless population also evolved from this. You got to put 2 and 2 together, and all this stuff is logical. So back to setting up the basis, right? So they owe us. So I want to run a bill for a program where 20, I'm not even gonna go 25. We'll say 20%, right? 1 out of 5 homes that are foreclosed have to fall into this program, right? Okay. And the program is called the pre-finance loan. Now let's say you have a 580 credit score. Shot. You'll never buy a house with a 580. No. You'll be lucky if you buy one. They won't even let you keep one of those little homeless homes that they're taking away from the homeless.
Right.
So the 580 score, and let's say you're $30,000 worth a day. That's a round number. So we evaluate you. Maybe you have a spouse. We evaluate you and your spouse. You go in on this together. Combined, you have the $30,000 loan, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And we figure out, you could probably afford a $200,000 mortgage. Realistically, right? Right. Keep the numbers easy. So now we go look in the area for a foreclosed home that falls into this program. and let's say there, there's a $250,000 valued house that foreclosed at around $120,000, right? Bingo. It's the perfect. You go look at it, you check it out. You agree. Okay, cool. We put you in here. We give you the keys, right?
Mm-hmm.
We put you in there with your debt, right? And we charge $10,000, whatever, flat cap, because we don't want them to take advantage of this program either. So we cap whatever they can charge for the loan, because the banks are gonna do what they do. They loan money, so they're gonna loan you this house, the mortgage, everything, that. Guess who's paying for all of this, by the way?
The too big to fail banks.
You.
Oh.
The bank's taking up the loan, but you're paying the loan. So in the end, you're paying for all of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. This is why every time I bring up this whole program, nobody's been able to find a flaw, and it's so easy, so simple, and I explain it so simply. Like people like it's so simple. People, it drives them nuts. They're trying to find a flaw with it. I challenge them. I used to do loans.
Uh-huh.
so then we put you in there. So now it's 120. We throw the 30,000 and the 10,000, right? So 150, $160,000 is what you owe right now, and the house is worth 250, right? Yeah, that's what we said, right? So
right.
there's still equity. Now, we put an annex on it, so this won't damage the value of the homes around it. So we will say the annex won't allow any value to go less than 3% because this is a special program, right?
Yeah.
So that's how we defend the value. So the people, the neighbors, don't get mad that they're losing value in the homes.
The props.
So now, after that, your credit score goes up, your moral goes up, you own a home. 2 or 3 years later, you refinance. Guess what? The bank is paid off completely. You don't know that bank anything. They're happy. They made $10,000 on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. But boom, right? You can't beat that. Now, let's say you mess up and you don't pay for the home, and it forecloses. Sorry, I can only do so much for you. First of all, right?
Right.
You gotta do your end of the deal. I just clean slated you and threw you in the house. What else do you want from me, right? So now that happens, they take away the home. Then there's not enough value in the house to do the program. So they sell it. There's equity in the house. Boom. They make the money right back. There's no loss for the bank. Again, it's a win-win-win-win for everybody.
Can they turn it over and immediately resell it and start the process over again?
It won't be under the program because there's not enough equity now.
Oh, okay.
Make sense?
It does make sense.
So do you
I like this program. This
right?
sounds fair. Everybody's winning. Everybody's getting
what
something.
What happens is we shift the renters to owners, and Costa Hawkins will start becoming a thing of the past, which we need to repel anyways. It should have been a thing of the past yesterday. It's the most heartless thing ever. Renters have no rights.
Oh, that's big. I was just talking about that with my mom today, and we were talking about some people that are living in the Santa Ana riverbed, and it's just getting bigger. And then they moved them to the hotels, or they tried to, and some couldn't leave, and it's only for a month or so. So, and now they're just going back. It's just the whole problem is it's horrific.
Homeless has really became one of my core issues. Really has, because in the last 2 years, it was already one of my issues as it is, but for the last 2 years, it's been horrendous, just horrendous. And I don't have the funds or the means to be able to do anything about it, and that's what really gets to me.
Well, you will be when you become a congressman and you beat out Maxine Waters.
Well, speaking of that, I want to get 25% back of my congressional. Michael.
Oh, it's okay. They can say hi. If you want to bring the kids, let them say hi.
No, he just came out of the shower. He's not even wearing clothes.
Oh, okay. Well, just make sure it's like top up.
Come and say hi.
It's okay.
Come and say hi. Put something on. Go.
Okay. Go get your clothes on. Okay, so somebody had another question. Are you good? Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that come on here, we've mentioned certain news outlets that we kind of follow, but we're just wondering, where do you get your news from? Where are you listening mostly?
Well, it's funny that when I tell people about it, it's most of my delegates and stuff are so involved that when they're at these Democratic conventions and all that stuff, I'm getting live streams. You know, I'm watching it from row. So some of the stuff that happens at these places, you never get it on TV. And when we try to expose it, most people laugh at it. They're like, you know, whatever. Miguel talking politics, but yeah, like. Then there's people like Lauren Steiner, who does a robust opposition. You know, she lives in Beverly Hills. She was a Bernie delegate, and you know, she works hard. She's out there every day for you know. She should be retired, enjoying her home in Beverly Hills, but no, she'll go out to Skid Row and everything. She's someone that I like to watch. There's
What's her name
people.
again? Could you say her name again?
Lauren Steiner.
Lauren Steiner?
Lauren Steiner.
Lauren Steiner.
Yeah,
I don't
she
know
was
if
a
I
Bernie
know.
delegate. She's a Bernie delegate. I'm sure you heard of her. You know, not everybody agrees with her style, and that's fine. But I think she does a lot of good work out there in the end. And then I'm trying to think of more people right now.
L.A. She's the Dick and Sharon's L.A. Progressive. Is that the right person?
No,
No.
Lauren Steiner.
Lauren?
Lauren.
Lauren Steiner on Facebook, I think. Hold on,
Yeah. She has a show called The Robust Opposition.
Yeah, that's her.
She was live streaming earlier. I don't know if she still is.
Yeah, she's got a lot of friends that I have. I'm just gonna add her one of my friends.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like you know, she's a good follow for sure.
Okay, what I want to do is I sent, for some reason I'm not I can usually bring up images of websites, but something weird's going on with my OBS, so I'm just gonna go ahead and tell everybody that to support and help, go to CrowdPack, and I already posted it in the live chat. CrowdPack crowdpack.com/campaigns. See Miguel Zuniga. I think it's something like that. I'm saying it wrong. I already put it in the live chat. Oh, somebody wants to say hi. I'm sorry. Hey, was that your kid?
Oh yeah. Say hi, Michael. Oh, nah. He's scared.
He's like, what are you doing, Dad? That's funny.
He thought I set him up.
Cute. Yeah,
he set himself
man.
up.
We're just hanging out, bro. We're just hanging out. Okay, so
Michael, stop.
let's do a quick lightning round. Okay, I'm gonna do, if you don't mind, I'm gonna do a few questions.
I'm moving it, Michael.
Okay.
Okay.
Minimum wage. Minimum wage should be at. What would you fight for as far as minimum wage?
Well, in California, man, like $15 isn't enough anymore. You know, I work for a Costco, and you know, I'm making over $20 an hour here, and it's hard to keep up. You know, I just got gentrified recently, and I'm paying $800 more rent than I used to, just to stay in the area that I live in Lomita, the same city. I went from being closer to Torrance to being closer to Harbor City now, and it's $800 more than what I used to pay. So yeah, like the minimum wage, I think honestly to keep up with the in California, it has to be over $20, over $20 easily. Yeah, I think the estimate was supposed to be $23 is what it should be or something.
Right. Well, I mean, so realistically, what I'm saying is, if we push for 17, we might get 15. If we push for 20, we could get 17. But starting at 15, you're gonna end up at 12. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Exactly.
You know how negotiations go. It's about negotiations, you know.
We should be pushing for over 20 for sure. That's why when people ask me, Michael, you're being rude. Thank you. When people ask me, man, you're throwing Disneyland. You know, my flyer, the one you shared for the show. Oh, you're throwing Disneyland out there. How are you gonna make all this happen? And like, you know what? I'd rather throw Disneyland out there. I'd rather throw as many darts as possible at this board, because if 2 or 3 of those darts land, it's a win for all of us. But if I only throw 2 or 3 darts and they all get shut down, what did I bring to the table? You know, so we always got to go bigger. We always got to go higher, because they're always going to compromise.
Okay, I got a question, and you were kind of hitting on this. But what would be your steps in regards to homeless and rehabilitating people? Or in other words, bring them back into the working world or the productive world, or at least trying to help them. I mean,
Well, one of the things is that, there's this misconception that everybody on the streets is a drug addict. And a lot of them do turn to drugs once they get to the streets, but they didn't get to the streets because they were on drugs most of the time. We were talking about they lost homes and everything.
Right.
So instead of taking the drug addicts and putting them in jails, where at one point they were just a drug addict, but now they come out of jail being a drug addict and a criminal. Because when you have them hanging around with criminals, that's what they learn. Then that it makes it tough. It makes it tough. So if we put them into some kind of rehabs where we take care of them, they're still confined to this area, but it doesn't feel like a jail. The atmosphere is a little bit more uplifted, and we can slowly get them out of the drugs. I think it's the UK or something where someone's on method, they take them into one of these facilities and they give them more method. And it sounds funny, but they don't give it to them, to party. They dose them out of it, little by little, because here they want them to go cold turkey and they go in pain and then they're right back on it. So and that program has been over 70% effective. I'll take 7 out of 10 instead of 0 out of 10 any day.
Right.
Any day. So that, and then for the homeless, how do we rehab? I have an idea, like, with these abandoned buildings that they have in Los Angeles or anywhere, and there's a lot of property out there that's just collecting dust. We take them over, and we don't just take them over, but we buy them, we do it properly, and we put homes in them, and at the bottom of them, we can do shops where they can actually work from.
Mm-hmm.
These people are capable of working. Now, these people are capable of, if we give them a second chance, they'll take it and they'll probably do a little bit more with it at this point, being that they've already been at the very bottom. So let's say it's a shop that sells screens, so they can make banners and flyers, for our next campaign, whatever it is. But now they come from their building, they go straight downstairs. They don't have to worry about having to have a car, commuting, and we also saving emissions and all that good stuff. And they're working directly into the building, and they're getting back on their feet, and until they can find a place that they can actually rent and get out of the building. Things like this. There's so many ideas that we can actually work on, but they rather spend the money on themselves. And that's what the money is not for them. Like, people tell me, like, I don't mind paying taxes. I do mind that it's what is being used on. So if it was being used on education, if it was being used on infrastructure, if it was being used to open up jobs here in the state, tax me 10%. That's going to benefit all of us.
Yeah.
But when you're taking up, the majority of this money and sending my friends and family to go fight wars, no, I don't agree with that at all. I don't want to pay taxes then.
That is the biggest thing right now. Is a lot of people are even on the right. They understand the need for safety. A lot of them are very scared because they watch Fox and everybody's coming after them to get them. It's a big scary world. But the thing is the amount of money in the billions that both the Republicans and the Democrats, I call them Democrats and Republicans, and I'm talking only about the legislators, judiciaries, and executives, they keep supporting billions and billions of dollars going to wars and the MIC, the military industrial complex. Mm-hmm. Would you, if you were to go in, would you just, I'm guessing definitely you're going to be against it, but how would you talk to these people? What would you say to get them to join you? I mean, I'm trying to think of how I would approach all these corrupted sons of bitches.
I mean, I would talk to I would give them all their chance. I'll give them my face to face. Like I said, I'm cordial, but once I see that nobody's responding to, like, maybe a bill proposed for, the Green Party wants to cut the military 50%, right? The military expenditure.
Mm-hmm.
But that was before we approved the 700 billion cap, right? So now I say we go 60% now because they raised their cap. We should raise ours. So I want to push for a 60% deduction of it, and have that money used for infrastructure, education, free tuition, single payer, all the good stuff, right? Because if we have money to go get us killed, we should have money to keep us alive, keep us healthy. I mean, come on.
How simple is that? If we can have money to get us killed, we should have money to keep us alive, right?
Dude,
That's
I
fucking
mean,
epic. That's
and the
fucking.
other thing is like the military, right? If we're gonna spend $700 billion in military, we should be spending half of that or more on our vets here, keeping them from killing themselves.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, buying them a home, buying them a little, giving them a sky rise. You know, like those are the guys that that fought to have our votes count, only so you can spit on their graves.
Yeah.
You know, it's a total disrespect. You know, people think I'm a veteran 90% of the time because of the way I speak, so outspoken for the vets, but I
Right.
have a huge appreciation for them.
Yeah.
You know, friends and family of mine, like to me, they're the ones that are being disrespected the most.
Yeah. I was in the Navy, so thank you. I
Thank
thank
you,
myself. I thank myself for my service all the time. But the
thank
thing
you.
is I just really believe that at a certain point, somebody's got to expose, and I think that's the question in regards to Julian Assange, right? Is how we
Right.
can there's just needs to be a way to expose all this corruption that keeps pushing these wars, and it's just crazy that it continues to happen.
Back to answering the question about what I would do in Congress with these guys trying to push
Oh, okay.
the 60% deduction. Well, I would go, I'd give them all a chance. I'll see, and if any of them are on board, they're gonna get promoted right away, right? They're gonna go, hey, these guys endorsed the bill, like, support these guys. Now, those that don't, I'm not gonna sit quiet and say, oh, they're not gonna. No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna speak in front of the House, and I say, you guys should be all ashamed of yourselves. You guys call yourself fellow Americans, and you guys are
Patriots? No,
the
they're patriots. They're patriots.
you guys are the enemies of the state. You guys are enemies of the countries. The country. We're called the United States of America, and that's the last thing we are. Some of these states don't pay taxes. Some of these states have way better electoral voting representation than we do, with the most populations ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. You go fight a war if you want these proposals. You go live under a freeway ramp if you think that this is okay. If you're gonna defend, corporations over people. If you're gonna give the right for a corporation to be able to donate as a person, then they should have the same right as a person to be capped at $2,700. But no, they don't have a cap. So if that person doesn't have a cap, then this person should have a cap either. Because there's plenty of billionaires out there that want to donate for the right reasons too.
Right.
But I don't think there should be any of them donating that ridiculous money. There should
Yeah.
be people funded.
It's gone out of control.
I'm proud of my people funded campaign. Whether we win or lose or not, we ran an honest, all proposals. I'm not over here saying impeach Trump, or I want to be Maxine. Oh, Maxine's got to go. Well, how if you take up Maxine's seat, what are you gonna do, Omar? What are you gonna do, Eduardo? What are you gonna do? All you guys are all talking about, oh, Maxine hasn't done anything, but what are you going to bring to the table? One says he's going to bring high-paying jobs. Okay, what jobs are you talking about? And who are going to get these jobs? Your friends? Let's be serious.
Yeah,
Let's
no
talk.
details. There's no details in their generalized plans. It seems.
And just because I don't have a professionally written bill out doesn't mean that I don't know how to do it, and I won't find out how to do it, and I won't be capable of doing it. And I don't know people that'll make sure I'll write the most detailed, perfect bills needed to
Right.
get it on board. You already see how I'm pretty detailed when I explain things.
Oh
So
yeah.
my bills shouldn't have any underlining for sure.
Okay, so Rebel Cage Rattler has another question. I think we kind of touched on this, but maybe we can go into more in depth in it. Are you thinking ahead on how to make sure there is voter integrity and combat voter fraud, colluding, corruption, the whole fucking 9 yards?
I was a victim of election fraud both times this last election season with Bernie. I got provisional ballot. I fought 20 minutes at the ballot station. I even had the volunteer tell me that they don't pay for it. That she doesn't get paid for it, which is a lie. I volunteered at a ballot booth ages ago and I got paid. So I'm sure they didn't stop paying people now. So I just felt very insulted. And yes, election integrity is actually my first proposal on my poster, because I could talk about every single thing that we just talked about, and it means nothing if our votes don't count.
Right.
And we need our votes. I've made analogies where if you go to Chuck E. Cheese, I got kids, obviously I go to Chuck E. Cheese. The
Been
ticket
there.
muncher, the ticket muncher is a lot more accurate and a lot more faster than our voting process in America. It'll count thousands of tickets in a minute or two, totally accurate. So why can't we have ticket munchers in the booth where you have one ticket and you put it in the Hillary booth, in the Bernie booth, or in the Joe booth, whatever, and then you see the count right then and there. You get a receipt. At this time, at this date, you were this number. Because I really think that's one thing I'm pushing for. We got to have a receipt showing what number you were in the vote at what time it was counted. Because let's say in your district you go and vote. At 1:15, you were number 135 to vote for me, right? And then you went to your buddy, and he's 3 o'clock, and he's 100, right? Something's up.
Yeah, that doesn't sound. Those numbers don't add up.
And all it took was for you to talk to your friend to figure it out.
Yeah, accountability.
Not doing it. We get everybody to share. Everybody shares the receipt on Facebook and stuff like that. Because I don't want to make it illegal to be able to share your receipt. Why? If you want to share your receipt, it's your business.
I'd be proud to show my receipt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look, I voted for Jill Stein.
This is who I fucking voted for, motherfuckers.
They have a picture of her with Putin at a table she was assigned to sit at, where she had no option to sit at, and someone took a picture of her there. But look at all the pictures of Hillary with Putin and Trump with Putin.
Oh yeah, uranium one. Don't even get us started on that one. I'm going to do one last question.
I love it.
Go ahead.
But let me say one last. I love it when conservatives tell me to name 10 countries where socialism works, and I tell them, name me one where capitalism works.
It doesn't. It hasn't.
So why is my assignment a lot harder than theirs, and they can't even name one?
Yeah, they can't even name it. Okay, here it is, and then we're going to get going. Then I just had one or two more questions. How does he intend to handle the fellow? They're not fellow, but the wannabe progressives, in my opinion, lefties that keep pushing Russia. Or do you believe that's happening?
Man, I call it politically mature. Some of us are politically mature, and some of us are still trying. There's a lot of people that just got involved in the game. This is their first attempt at trying to figure out the political realm. I've had my face. I was in the belly of the beast. I was one of the leaders of the walkout. When Bernie released us, I was one of the first ones in the couple dozen of people that started the walkout. And it wasn't planned. It just happened naturally. But I was one of the first. I was upset. I was so upset. I left. Then when Hillary came out to talk, I walked out in the middle of her speech too. I waited for her to come out. I waited a few minutes. I wanted to show her the same respect she showed us. None. And I walked out in the middle of her speech, quietly, no noise, nothing. I just walked out. And when I walked out, I pulled out my just sign that some of my Bernie delegates had snuck in through Secret Service, right? And I started canvassing for Jill Stein inside the stadium while she's speaking.
Excellent.
And I was like, Jill, if you guys want me to vote for a woman, here she is, Jill Stein. I'm going for moral value. I'm not going to vote for a warmonger. I'm not going to vote for someone who laughs after defending a rape case. I'm not going to vote for someone who doesn't have a heart. I'm going green. I told you guys, if you guys gave me Hillary, I would come back to destroy the party. And I was literally, I got the reputation for making the most Hillary delegates cry. So the Russia rhetoric to me, I let them come talk to me, because you know what? We can talk about the Russia rhetoric, but before we get to the Russia rhetoric, let's talk about what Russia discovered that nobody's denying, and it's the emails too with Julian Assange. And nobody's denying them because they know they did those emails. For instance, if you send me an email and I sent you an email, right? We both know what we sent each other.
Yeah.
Now let's say Julian Assange exposed one of our emails. I know he's got my emails.
And he's got mine too, bro.
I'm gonna be on my best behavior, right?
Right.
And if I know that So now the funny thing is that there's a lot of betrayal going on amongst themselves too in those emails. So now they know they can't even trust each other either. So there's a wrench thrown in the machine already with Julian, and it's been amazing. That's why they want to kill the guy. They're doing anything and everything to make him evaporate. But he's a huge force in the revolution for sure. The Russian rhetoric, we did all, Trump and Hillary both have these kind of deals with Russia, and Hillary was supposed to be she was supposed to be our president. It was premeditated. So they had something going on. It didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen. They went with Plan B with Trump. So now she's trying to get herself out of it and pointing the finger at Russia. But nobody's talking about the election fraud. What's more important? You defend someone who spied on us. And guess what, people? Spying is a career. Spying is a career. If you're mad at Russia for spying on us, I recommend you guys go apply to be a spy here and go spy back. Get those guys. Get those Russians. Because you can spy right back. You're acting like what they're doing. Oh my God, Russia! You think Russia's the only country spying on us, people? Let's just start blaming Bangladesh for elections. Everybody's got spies, especially against us because we're the world bully. But yeah, Russia is a joke.
The Russia thing too is just a big fucking joke.
If it was true, we owe them a great, sincere thank you for exposing what our own country is trying to sweep under our rug. And the fact that they've committed treason. Treason is one of the worst things you can do in the country. So, in some countries, it's still punishable by hanging. In some states,
right.
If I'm not wrong, I think some states will still punish you by hanging for treason,
right.
which is really rare now.
Totally.
But that's
so hey, I got a question for you. Do you want to hang out and let some people come on, or
sure?
Are you cool? Just to extend the show. We've already been on for like an hour and a half. I can't believe we've been talking for this long, dude.
Yeah,
do you have anywhere you got to go? You got to get up in the morning or anything?
No, I'm just here at the house.
Okay.
I just couldn't come down.
All right, so I'm just going to open the floodgates. But since I'm doing that, I have a question in regards, and this is a good one. So when you do get nominated, because I'm going to do whatever I can to help you.
Thank you.
What is the first course of action that you're going to do? What is besides redecorate? I'm just, you know what I'm saying? While you're in office, you know what I mean? I mean, what is the one thing that you're going to start to mobilize with? What are you going to start to really push?
We need to start working on the homeless. We really do, and part of it is, start pushing my bill for the pre-finance loan. We need, and election integrity. Those are the first two things I really want to go after. Single payer.
So like overturn Citizens United, is that what you're talking about?
Oh yeah, Citizens United's got to go. It's got to go. We got to have people funded. I mean, nothing feels better than saying that, you know who owns me? The people. The people own me. We outnumber the corporations. Corporations are not even real. They're entities, and they're owned by less than a dozen people to one person most of the time. So no, corporations shouldn't be put above all of us. I feel great that I've only taken money from the people, and I have nothing to hide. I'm totally transparent. Transparency is the key. I want to lead by example. That's why I came to the Green Party, because we don't take corporate funding, and that's the biggest problem. Mm-hmm. We're not up against politicians anymore. We're up against corporations. That's the reality. That's the truth. These corporations bought these politicians out. Look at what was it, Cruz the other day? You got a man who just lost his daughter a few days before, crying, begging you not to take money from the NRA, and you still couldn't even lie about it. Mm-hmm. And the NRA is probably mad at you for not lying either, because now you're probably going to lose your seat, and you're not going to get any more money from the NRA anyways. The NRA is like, just lie to them. We will continue to funnel you. Just shut up and lie. We need your vote. I mean, is he that much of an idiot? You can sit there and stand and look at this grown man cry who just lost his daughter for getting shot in the back because he can't say no. Oh, they're buying into my program. You're an idiot. Your program is that you just got bought.
That's the biggest concern that we have everywhere is the co-opting, because everybody sees it's already happening with Justice Democrats. It's been happening forever with the Democrats. The Republicans they were bought a long time ago. But
Yeah,
do you? So you definitely are going to hold firm with the way the party that's been around since 1984, that has had these same fundamental uh, proposals that we've been that the Greens have had, and it seems like everybody's finally caught up. Oh shit! I guess that is a good idea. Single payer, taking free college, no more wars, all this other stuff, right? So it's just that integrity that you're going to definitely hold true to your word. And should we
a
have
lot
you
of
sign
Democrats don't know that
anything?
they're truly green.
You know what I'm saying?
What's
Maybe
that?
what's that thing that people are signing? I forgot what it's called. A snarfy, or it's some kind of for I God, I can't believe I can't remember. We talk about it all the time.
There's a corporate free, the big oil, you take no big oil.
Yeah. Then
I'm
they
part
have
of
to
Gil
sign on to
McLaughlin.
this thing. I forgot the freaking name of it. It'll probably pop up in chat, I'm hoping. But see, the thing
Yeah,
is go
I
ahead.
got Gil McLaughlin's endorsement, so I'm part of the slate, the California Clean Slate, Gil Force. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
No, what is that?
Well, Gil McLaughlin was the part of the Richmond Alliance up north, and she battled $2.5 million worth of, or $3.5 million worth of mobile Lexon, they were trying to buy out a city council over there in Richmond. So she led as a Green. She ran for mayor, and she led it with a couple of independents and Democrat progressives, and they went, boots on the ground, and they started knocking on doors and getting the whole community informed, and they won. They beat the $3.5 million corporate funded slate.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gained a lot of steam because of it, right?
Right.
So now she's running for lieutenant governor, and she wants to do the same thing on a state level. So she's been touring up and down the state, just looking for corporate free candidates, people who are supporting single payer, people on board with,
Mm-hmm.
But she's running as a no party preference this time, even
Wow.
though she wanted and at first some of the gays were like, but at the same time, like, who do we want in there? Democrat? Who do we want in there? Republican? Like, we got to stir it up. We really got to change it up. We got to go. We got to go third option. Most definitely. A true democracy doesn't consist of two parties. That's a duopoly.
That's all it is now. It's a two-party oligarchy, is what I call it.
The
Okay, so
oligarchy.
I don't think anybody's coming on. I think we're okay with that. We've covered anything. Do you have anything you want to say about yourself before we sign off?
Did I mention that I want to give 25% back of my congressional salary back to the district, invest it back into the district somehow?
Could you repeat that? What was that?
I want to give 25% back of my congressional salary as a thank you to my district for working hard to making it happen, to put it, this is where I distinguish myself from a politician and the person, you know and I want to, I still haven't decided exactly what I want to do. I was thinking maybe a co-op, starting maybe a co-op business where,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get a few more investors in it, because 25% of congressional salary won't be enough to start a business, but a business where people own the business,
Right.
give back to the community, and this is a little bit more than $30,000 a year. So,
Yeah,
so
that's a chunk.
it's just, it's something more than most Democrats or Republicans
But
are getting
they're
back.
such hoarders now. They're so fucking corrupt. It's so bad.
And this just proves that, like, I'll be so grateful to be in Congress, because I really want to help. I really enjoy helping people. I don't work for commission at Costco, and I got 5 appreciation write-ups. And I didn't really know what that was, so I got my first one, and they took me in the office. I thought I was in trouble, right? I'm getting a write-up. Most of the time, a write-up is, it's not a good thing. But that means that a member was so happy with my service that they complimented me to corporate, and it's happened 5 times. Now, it's funny because all the managers combined don't have 5, appreciation write-ups. And I'm not saying they're bad managers or nothing, but a lot of my managers are really good people. I love them to death. I love you guys, so don't take that personal.
I
But
had
but
no.
but but my point is, and they know, because my managers, they ask something from me, they get it. I don't question them. I don't, and if I could give them a suggestion, they're more open to hearing it, because they know my experience. And it'll probably be something that will help. So that's what leadership's about. it ain't about taking the credit and hogging it. It's about being open to more ideas and bringing them to the table. You know, you're in the OC, but if you say, "Hey, Miguel, I just thought this great idea for da 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 da," and like, you know, you should try to see if you can pull it off in your district and set an example, and, you know, motivate other congressmen to do it. You know, like, bring it on. Let's do this. You know, come to the office. You know, and hopefully I'll be in that office, right?
So you're going to leave the door open for people to come in and talk to you. You're not going to. So, and this is what people that I like to say is, when is the last time a Green Party politician ever screwed you over?
Well, you got to give us an opportunity first. You know,
Yeah, you got
name
to
a
give us
bill.
an opportunity to screw you over first.
Yeah. I'm the person that, you know, I really feel this way, you know, in most relationships, and, you know, and take it for a grain of sand if you like, but I'll trust you 100%. You know, I just mentioned that, but I'll trust you 100%. You know, until you give me a reason not to, and that reason can come within the first minute. You know, and once you lose my trust, it's really hard to gain it back. It really is. It's tough. It's, you know, because trust is very important, and then for in order for it to work, it has to be a mutual agreement where, hey, I trust you. You know, when you're telling me this and you're saying this, I believe you. You know, so let's go move forward with this. So let's not, now that we move forward, you want to backpedal and you're not telling me, because even if you want to backpedal, I'm okay with it. But tell me, we gotta keep this honesty. You know, like, you know, that's how you keep the trust.
Right.
So,
Honesty is the best policy. So, hey, I got a quick question for you. Behind you, you have an awesome banner. And could you kind of move your camera so we can see where it says crowd pack? I posted it in the, there it is. So everybody can see that. A little bit to the left, a little bit to the left. No, the other left. No,
I can't see it.
it's backwards, I guess, for us. But kind of, there you go. Just keep it still so people can see it. Back up just a little bit. Back up just like right about there. Perfect. Perfect. Just kind of hold it there. Thank you very much, Miguel. This has been a fantastic interview. Like I said, give this to people if they want to learn more about you, where you stand. If there's anything else you want to add on to this before we go, tell us what to do. How I tell people to go to there to help him. Send $1, send $2, whatever you can. Get this guy in. Give him the support. If you have channel, if you want to have another interview with him, if you want to get him out on the airways, get him, expose this man. It sounds like a guy that I would say, you know what, I'm sending that guy up to the mountaintop to take care of the enemy. In other words, he's going to go check out the enemy and report to us. He's that guy. He's going to go out there and he's going to be on that hill. He's going to be telling us what's going on, and he's going to be transparent.
If I'm in Congress and I'm outnumbered by both parties and nobody wants to support, but I'm offering, like, you know, people say, well, you know, both parties are going to be against you. I'm like, I understand that. That's why we need to get more Greens in there with me. I can't go in there by myself. We got Kenneth Mejia, we got Angelica Duenas, we got Adolfo Cortez Barragan. That's my little LA Green slate right there. You know, we have a chance of representing 2.8 million Angelinos.
Nice.
That would send a huge message. Now, the thing is, I tell people, if everything I vote for doesn't pass and everything I vote against does, and my proposals just get all shot down, but they are exactly what the people wanted, and I voted in favor of the people every single time, guess what's going to happen? They're going to realize that I held the line, even if I was the only one. Remember the Iraq vote, one of the most famous votes, Bernie's and Ron's, they voted against it.
Right.
Nobody remembers everybody that voted for that vote.
I know.
You know,
a lot of people.
More people remember the two that voted against it because it meant more to them.
Right.
You know, so if people start realizing, like, you know what, we need to get more Greens in there now, because with more Greens holding the line like this, we start tipping the scale. Now the other thing is, let's say it becomes a tiebreaker, and let's say Angelica and all of us, you know, like, because of 3 votes, will consider if it goes over or not. And me, Angelica, Kenneth, and Rodolfo, or whatever, we're the 4 votes. You know, or let's say 4 votes, right? We need exactly 4 votes for a tiebreaker. This is where you're gonna start seeing that the Democrats will not allow any more tiebreakers. You know, they're gonna see that the Republicans and the Democrats are gonna be voting so much in the right,
right,
to make sure that we don't get a tiebreaker. They won't allow it.
right.
But if it comes to a tiebreaker, guess who wins? guess who wins the tiebreaker? Who the few little votes that we get would have the power, just like they do in Utah with the electoral votes, and they only have 4 electoral votes, and all of a sudden they determine the whole presidential election with 4 electoral votes. It comes down to Utah. Like, man, do they even have 4 people in Utah? They got more cactuses in Utah than people, and you're telling me that that determined the election of our
That's
country?
fucking insanity, right? That's so insane.
The electoral vote is useless.
So election entire, totally complete and true progressive campaign finance reform. I know it's a long title, but that's what you're going to be pushing for. Definitely
People
get rid of
campaign.
overturn Citizens United, get rid of McCutcheon versus the FEC, Communication Act.
Get rid of Costa-Hawkins.
Right.
You got to repeal that.
A lot of that.
That's
All right, so I'm gonna get going pretty soon. But what do you want to say to everybody before we take off?
Well, as you can see, I come with a lot of proposals. I come with the heart. We don't have the money, but I'm not influenced by money. I'm not driven by money. I'm driven by putting a smile on a child's face. I'm driven by providing education to people that deserve it. I'm driven by replacing a roof ramp with a roof, a freeway ramp with a roof. I'm driven by the people that don't have a voice. I'm loud. I'm proud of being that voice. I want to be that voice because nobody else is standing up for us. I'm the working class. I'm the middle class. I'm struggling. I've been served eviction notices. I just got gentrified recently. I know what's going on in my district because I'm a victim of it. I'm a victim of Maxine's policies, basically, because she's been in here for 29 years. She's passed 4 bills. One of them was to change the name to a post office. So 25% of her career was that she was able to change a name to a post office.
That's not getting personal. That's just the sad and pathetic fact.
Yeah. And she's the impeached queen, right? But she hasn't even written 1 article of impeachment. How could she be leading that train? Bill Allen has already written like 6. She hasn't even co-signed on any of them. So how, in order to impeach somebody, you need to get in the program. And she even recently went out on a speech saying that, if we don't get him, I have my hope that Stormy will. So now you're putting your faith in a porn star to impeach a president. This is what the Democratic power is showing right now, the leadership. And I feel so bad for all the reformers that are in there working hard to do something about it. So in the end, I'm a person trying to do a politician. No, I'm ready to do a politician's job because they're not doing it. It won't be that hard to do. What, this bill doesn't represent us? No. This bill does? Yes. And we got to vote on that all the way down the line. Just hold the line. Just keep it like that. Even if I'm the only one voting against it, I don't care. I'll be proud with that vote. I'll wear that vote on my sleeve because that's the vote that people need. So I just want to say, everybody,
I love you guys. Awesome, bro.
I love you guys. Please get on board. Let's get out there. Let's make history. Let's get Greens in Congress. There's almost 40 Greens right now running for Congress across the country. And, we at least get half of them or more in there. I have faith that we can do even more than that. Mm-hmm. People are hungry for change, and we are that change. My experience in politics is that I'm not a politician going around being hungry for money and donations from corporations. That's an experience I need. My experience is that they've always, to me, been the enemy of our country, and I don't need to take a seat. We need to take their seats, replace them, and put the heart in the machine.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Miguel. You've been fantastic, and yes.
Thank you for everything you're doing, because this is another thing. I'm just one candidate, but what James is doing here is truly, truly amazing, because tomorrow there'll be another candidate. I might lose my race, but I might come back for another one, and I'm going to need him to support me too. So what James is doing is really putting up the awareness of people that are actually there fighting for you, because the media is not going to do this. They're owned by both parties. They get paid by both parties. They have a teleprompter. I watch live streams for news. You can't edit live streams. So there's a difference there. I don't trust too many, even TYT. Jimmy Dore is probably as far as I go with them now. Zank really lost me once he went 100% with Hillary. We need to keep real media alive. Like my brother here, James, man to talk. It's been a true pleasure being on the show, and I hope to do some more segments with you, man.
You're welcome to come by. I got a lot of guys that come back that have done been on interviews, and they just come by every once in a while to say hi and get into the mix of when we get other people on here. It's usually not usually Sundays, but it's more like Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, stuff like that. It's fun to come on, and we have people from all, not like I said earlier in my monologue, we have people not just from state and nationally from the states,
Right.
internationally, people from all over the world. Yeah, and we have other people that would definitely like to have some of that would like to interview some greens as well. So spread
Yeah.
the news. Let them know I'm here for them, and we'll keep this conversation going. We cannot let these things stop. We have to keep pushing, and you seem like a person that I'm definitely gonna, I'm thinking of even moving out that area so I can just fucking vote for you. But I am gonna tell you right now,
Come
bro.
on in.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Share this video with whoever you can in the area. Post it. If they're gonna take it down, fuck them. Just post it again. But anyway, thank you very much, Miguel. Thank you very much. Good job, Miguel.
Mahalo.
Thank you so much.
Mahalo.
Mahalo, brother. Mahalo nui loha. Take care. Just
Thank you
hang
very
on.